Hi guys, welcome to Shiva Sai's Perseverance Software Training Institute. Alright, I'm Sai Charan. So in this particular video, let's focus on deploying our first resource using Terraform. Okay, alright. So we already have Terraform available on our system. Okay, so that was cross-verified already, correct? So on the bash, 1 second. Alright, give pwd. Alright, fine. Okay, just give Terraform version. So if you see the tool, yeah, it is already available. So now what happens is this is fine. Now we already have AWS account that was shown, correct? So this is our AWS account. If you go here, yeah, this is our AWS account, right? Fine. Okay, perfect. Now both are available. So we have already created a user namely Shivasai, and we already have access keys and secret keys grabbed for that particular user. All right. The thing is, so we, basically what happens is why we are not using password here is access keys and secret keys are more secure than password. That is where so we are going with this particular option. Okay, so everything is available. So now let's focus on the code for Terraform automation. All right, so yeah, let's deploy our first automation using Terraform. All right, so as displayed on the screen, Terraform code looks like this. It follows HCL standard HashiCorp language. All the file names, automation files of Terraform should end with .tf extension, something like this. Okay, so something like this only, maybe automation.tf, anything, whatever is required, like that. All right, fine. Okay, so everything is ready. Let's understand the code now. Okay, see, the thing is, now we are kickstarting with developing the Terraform code for automating infra provisioning and management, correct? So it's not required for you to remember everything. Just simply you can, what you can do is you can go to Terraform provider, search for it. See, you got it. Search here again. Just click on there. So we are working with AWS. Click on AWS. Okay, see, if you see here, if you pull down, you will be seeing all the required details of this, but I mean, the helpful links and all, but we should focus on just clicking on use provider. So this is the code we require. Okay, correct. But the thing is, the detailed explanatory part of this is documented in documentation part. You can able to see it. All right. Yeah. Okay, fine. It's not required for you to remember everything. So let's go and understand the code. But before that, so instead of developing the code on the notepad, you should be able to use some sort of IDE, which is integrated development environment. See, because it have required color code, everything is such. Here everything would be in the same format and you will not be able to find or the errors, something like that, and it would be really complicated to manage. Okay, so what you do, you install something like Visual Studio. I'll share the link in the description. So go here, so go to maybe click on, okay, before that let's have a directory for our Terraform automation. Go to downloads, any path you need. So already two are there, right? We'll create new. So click new folder, just give IaC infrastructure as code. We'll use this. All right, so let's browse that here, file, open folder. So click on IaC, select folder, that's done. So now we do not have any data here, right? Expand it. We do not have any data. Let's add a file. So new file. So give a name, something like anything you can give. So provider.tf, enter. So if you see here, all right, whatever we type right now, it have a color code, everything is such. So let's do one thing. Let's copy this code now. Actually, all the required code will be shared with you. on GitHub. So I already have the code. So let me go to Visual Studio and paste the code. Okay. So firstly, we are talking about provider. As told earlier, provider is nothing but a plugin to work with different platforms. So we need to work with AWS. We already browsed for AWS provider, right? It has shown this. So click on AWS and it is telling click on use provider, and then we can go with this. See, the same is available there. Provider AWS, open bracket, right? Flower bracket. Now here we should pass something, because on AWS provider, what you need to do now is how you authenticate. You already know we have already created a user with access key and private secret key that is already available with me. Okay, so what you do is you should use that, and you should also tell in which region I need to deploy resources. What is the region? It is nothing but the location of the of the resources to be deployed. So on the cloud, if you see here, there is a drop down beside your profile, right? So to click on the drop down, you can deploy any number of resource. I mean, you can deploy resources in any of the region here. All right. Okay, location. See, so let's do one thing. Let's select anything randomly, maybe Sydney. So click Sydney here. Okay. Now, see, for authenticating to the AWS cloud, Terraform needs access key and secret key, which is already there. But in which region Terraform should deploy resources? We selected Sydney, correct? So the very first thing here is go to the code. This is called as block. This is one block. This is another block, right? Fine. So in this block, you have something like provider AWS. You know from where we got it. It needs some arguments definitely to be passed. Okay, because we should tell in which region we need to manage, deploy, manage resources, and how we authenticate to that particular cloud platform. So we should configure all of this. So this information is also available on the the provider section documentation. Click on documentation, so you'll be able to see everything here. Okay, you have something like, see, authentication and all, but just focus on, see see usage, provider configuration. You would be able to see pass, region, access key and secret key. So all right, so what is the region we selected? We have selected Sydney, right? So click on that. So copy this one. Okay, AP Southeast 2. So click here. Now go to the code. So in the double quotes, replace the region, and we need to give the access key. We already have the access key. Okay, so copy it. Then the double quotes, give that, and secret key also. Within the double quotes, give that. All right, and close this. Now our provider block is done. All right, perfect. Now let's focus on deploying a server in that particular, you know, uh, cloud. See, this helps to authenticate Terraform to cloud provider using this particular access key and secret key, and deploy resources and manage it on that particular region. But what resource you want to deploy, we need to tell in the resource block. Okay, so there is something like, it starts with resource. This is provider block, this is resource block. Okay, so here, so let's close this provider. You can do this, right? All right, so what is this? This is type of the resource. We have server to can be deployed using Terraform. IP address can be deployed using Terraform. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, IP address can be deployed using Terraform. Next, we can deploy security groups for security. So any resource can be managed. So now we are focusing on server. How we can deploy server on AWS is we have something like EC2. So select it. All right. So if you select this, see, we have something like instances. Select this also. So in our Sydney region, there are no instances. All right, see, no matching instances found. That is where we'll be creating a server. If you click on launch instance, that would be a manual activity. See, click on launch instance. And before all the tools like Terraform, it was like this, or we'd be deploying it using some scripts or something like that. So if you see here, see, we are giving what type of operating system we need, what is the name, everything is such. All right, so we have something like AMI, Amazon Mission Image, which is nothing but, it is the image ID, so that which operating system should be deployed for the, which kind of OS should be available in your server. I'm going with Ubuntu server or Windows, anything. So if I click on Ubuntu, it has a AMID, something like that. All right. So after selecting all the required details, right? So what is the type of instance? So we have something like t2.micro. If you see here, it has one virtual CPU, 1 GB of RAM. Okay, for that particular server, everything, once you select, click on launch instance. Okay, it will be launched. This is manual activity. The thing is, we are trying to use Terraform to deploy resources in an automated fashion, right? That is where we should go with the code now. So that is where we are drafting the code. Provider block is done. Now resource block, the type of resource is this. So resource is, this is the block. Then what type of resource you want to deploy? A server, you want to deploy IP address, you want to deploy security group, anything as such. And this is the local name of the resource via which Terraform refers this particular resource. Okay, fine. So I want to deploy EC2 instance, which is nothing but a server on AWS. Okay, what is EC2? Elastic Compute Cloud, which is a service on AWS which helps us to create servers. So if you search here EC2, you will get it. EC2, you'll get it. Okay, virtual servers on the cloud. Fine. So what you do is simple. Go to Google. All right. So just search for Terraform EC2, something like that. You will get this one. All right. You can select one. Okay. So it will take us to that particular Terraform now page. Why it is loading late? So let's open the new window. So Terraform EC2, yeah, we got it. So maybe that might be because of the cache issue there. It is loading fast here. See, how you get to know is in the left pane, if you see AWS provider, you can manage all these resources using Terraform on AWS. And if you see, we need EC2. Under that, we have something like resources. Under that, we have many things. Okay, so we need to work with server, right? So we need AWS instance, that is this. And if you scroll down, we have requirements here, right? See, we can actually deploy a resource using this. Resource of resource type AWS instance, so that it deploys a server. Let's understand that code now. All right. So okay. So the resource type is AWS instance. This is local name of the server. It needs AMI ID. What is AMI ID? The kind of server you want to deploy. Meaning you want Ubuntu, you want Microsoft, Windows server, everything is such. You should grab this AMI from the cloud itself. I have shown, right? So simply go to here. Okay. So maybe if you click on launch instance, right? So yeah, so you can give some name here in case of manual deployment. And if you scroll down this, see, all these are available. Okay, AWS, Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu. Let me select Ubuntu. If you see here, we have something like AMI here, right? So we'll get it here. So just scroll down. See, this is the ID we need. So select it, go to the code, in the AMI option, just pass this. All right. Okay, see, all these details will be available in the documentation as said. Okay, see, now here it is asking for AMI and instance type. Okay, tags we will see later. All right, now what is the instance type? T2 micro, which is of one virtual CPU and one virtual CPU and one GIB RAM. See, T2 micro, this is the type. So that we are passing here. That is enough for now. Let's save it.